Hello Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapandMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada, and thank you for joining me today. We are going to be playing with the Driving by stamp set. This is a level 1 Sale-a-Bration item. So in Canada, for every $60 spent before shipping and handling, this is one of the sets that you can select for free. I am loving the van. It reminds me of the Partridge Family, and that's the image we're going to be using today. So, and we're also going to be using driving by just to say hi, and also you've got style. I will tell you that I've done 3 cards. One of them I've already showcased or done a video on it, and I've got one more card to share with you, and I will have used every stamp in this set, which I love doing that. Just goes to show the versatility. So grab your pen and paper and let me give you some measurements and hopefully inspire you. So the card we're going to be making today is this one, and it kind of folds open like that. This is where you're going to get the retro kind of flower power vibe to it. I love this, this layout, and I thought it was perfect for this bus. So you need pale papaya, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You need a piece of basic white. I've selected to use the basic white thick only because it's got that opening mechanism to it. If you don't have basic white thick, you can use regular basic white. It doesn't matter. And that is 5 1/4 by 8. You want it just a little bit smaller than this card base. So it is 5 1/4 by 8, and it is scored valley at 4 inches, and then mountain at 6 inches. So valley, and then this would be the mountain. So 4 and 6. You need a piece of designer series paper, and this is from the Pansy Petals designer series paper, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. This is another piece of designer series paper from Pansy Petals, and it is 5 by 1 3/4. Now, if you know me, you know I can't do anything without the tasteful label dies. So using this banner die right here, I've die cut out, actually I've die cut out multiples, but you only need one. I die cut out a few in case I make a boo. And then from the layering circles, using the second largest circle and cinnamon cider, you need to die cut out 1 in cinnamon cider, so that's the second largest circle. Third largest circle, you need to die cut out 1 in basic white, and that's going to get mounted on like that. And then using the second largest circle and the largest scallop circle, you're going to die cut out 2 of these in pale papaya. So that is, you're going to die cut out 1 and then send it back on the machine and put the center in to die cut out the center. I just have a cough, so give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to mute the microphone. So just to recap, so you're going to, using the pale papaya, die cut out 1 like that. And you're going to actually do 2 of them. You want 1 for the inside of the card, 1 for the outside. And then you're going to send it back in the machine again and add the second largest in the center so that you end up with this frame. You can sometimes actually put them in together like that and die cut it out at once. But I've done it before, and you know, sometimes if you don't have the dies aligned properly, you can actually bend your dies. And so I've decided not to share that, not to show you guys how to do it that way, that it's best to send them in separately. So die cut it out wholly and then send it back in again and die cut out the center. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Alrighty, so if it doesn't, let me know in the comments and I will try, and you know what, maybe I'll show you. I do have the die cutting machine right here beside me. because I need it for something else. So let me show you what I mean by that. Okay. Just in case you're new and you're not familiar, so I just have to see if I've got a piece of scrap that I can share with you. Oh, here we go. It's not scrap, but I'm going to do it on a piece of basic white. Okay. So here is my cardstock, and I'm going to put the largest scallop on here like that. And I'm going to run it through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine like that. Okay. And now we have this scallop, which is perfecto. But I want it to make a frame. So now I'm going to take the second largest layering circle, and I'm just going to make sure you can see this, and I'm going to layer inside that scallop, and I'm going to send it back through the machine again. And that will give you a really nice frame effect, and you'll see what it's used for. So it gives you this frame effect. Okay, so that's what I want you to do, but with the pale papaya, and you need two. Okay, so let me start making the card. I'm going to start with some stamping, actually. I'm going to start with stamping, so we need the black memento, and I need the stamp set. I put it away. And so I've got the bus, and I'm going to ink that up in the black memento. This is the right piece, right? Yeah. I need to re-ink my black memento, so I'm just really rubbing it in here to make sure that it's nice and solid image. There we go. And then we've got the bus, and you know, while we've got this ink out, I'm going to also stamp. You've got Style in the black. Let me just, this looks so much smaller. Oh, it's the same size. It looks smaller. I don't know why. Sometimes you, it's deceiving when you're trying to recreate a card. Okay, so I'm just going to, in the black, ink this up, and hopefully I don't get my head in the way. And you've got Style. There we go. And then on the inside, I'm not going to pull that off, because I'm going to get ink all over my hands. So I'm just going to get another block, driving by to say hi. And I'm going to put this in the middle here. There we go. Oh, I messed it up. Okay, hold please while I cut another piece. Okay, I've cut another piece, and let me try this one more time without it getting ink all over the place. Driving by to say hi. Oh, that's much better. Much, much better. Okay, I'm going to put all that away and put that away, and now I'm going to bring out the bus. So the bus, I'm going to color it in combination of pale papaya and smoky slate. And it is smoky slate, right? Yes, light and dark smoky slate. So I'm going to start with the, pale papaya and light pumpkin pie. So I'm going to start off with the light pumpkin pie, and I'm going to just highlight the doors around the wheel well. I'm not going to actually color in the wheel well. Like that. And now I'm going to take the dark pale papaya, and I'm going to blend some of that in. And now I'm going to take the light pale papaya. And oops, I want the brush end. I don't know if you're like me, but I never look at what end I'm opening up. And now I'm just going to blend all that in together. And it just gives a little bit of dimension to the vehicle, so that it, I love that the light pumpkin pie kind of matches with the pale papaya. And I'm going to do the roof in the light. I actually should have done that in the dark. I'm going to bring in the dark a little bit. Some people like to start their blends with the dark and then add the light. Some like to go light to dark. Depends on what I'm coloring. I always like to add the outside, like what would have shadows, as the darker, and then just blend it all in together. And I'm just going to color the bus. I will admit, when I first saw the bus, I thought, oh, okay, it does remind me of the Partridge Family, but how on earth am I going to use that? But it worked out. Okay, so what I'm also going to do is I've got the light petal pink, and I'm just going to color in the windows, but I'm not doing it really heavy. Just want to add a little bit of color to the windows. And now I'm going to take the smoky slate. Yeah, the smoky slate, the dark. I'm going to take the bullet end, the dark smoky slate, and I'm going to go around the hubcap. You can use the black if you so desire, but I found the black, I've mentioned this in another video where I've used this stamp set, not necessarily this image, but that it was too dark for me. It was too bold. And I'm going to take the light smoky slate and color in the bumpers, the exhaust, around the hubcaps. Or sorry, not the hubcaps, the fender, I guess it is. Okay, and I'm actually going to do it one more time to just make it a little bit darker. And now I'm going to color in the wheels. One of the things I just placed a Stampin' Up! Order, and one of the things on it was my color lifter, because I'm going to bring it out. It's, I need to replace it. So I'm just going to lift some of that color off of the hubcaps, or the wheels, sorry. It still works, but I need a new one. Okay. It's the wheels, and then I'm going to take my light smoky slate again, and that is light, and I'm just going to ground it like that. So that's the bus. Now I'm going to add this onto here, and I'm going to get out my adhesive. Now the cinnamon, just a reminder that the cinnamon cider is an in color, a 2020-2022 in color, and will be retiring at the end of April, as well as the designer series paper. So I'm giving you guys a heads up now that if there's any in colors that you love that are retiring, and I'll give you the names of them. If you need re-inkers, you want to stock up on cardstock, now is the time to start thinking about that. Okay, so the in colors that are retiring are Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. I have to tell you that Misty Moonlight is probably one of my all-time favorite blues, and every once in a while Stampin' Up! Says they'll do a color refresh. I don't think it's going to happen this year, and that is one color that I hope comes back into the lineup. Okay, so enough of the advertisement. I'm going to adhere this to the front like that. Because we are going to be die cutting out a circle, I am going to put some adhesive in the middle so that when we die cut it out, it's not loose around the edges. And just going to lay that down, leaving even space on all four sides. Okay, so now we've got this window mechanism, and the second largest die, the second largest circle die, what we're going to do is put this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and die cut it out. Right. So I'm winging it. Just make sure you kind of have it, keeping it towards the top. The more important part is that you try to have it even spaced on both sides. If you want, you can use a little bit of washi tape to hold it down. But you know me, and I'm an eyeballer, which surprises even me sometimes, that I eyeball things, yet I need things to be straight. But I'm still an eyeballer. Okay. And there we go, it popped right out. Okay. All right. I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to put that away. And I've got my piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to fold this again because I didn't fold it before. And 4. And we are going to adhere that. So you see how it's just a little bit. When this is folded over, you want it so that there's even space all around on all four sides. And it just is a little bit smaller than the actual card base. I went over the edge, so I'm just pushing the adhesive back. There we go. Okay. And now this is going to pop in like that. But we don't want adhesive on the other side. Whoops. Elizabeth, I need my pencil. You can fiddle with this if you like, but I'm just going to make a pencil mark. Okay, like that. And I'm just going to make a little pencil mark right there. So I know that I don't want my adhesive on the other side, and I am going to use some Tombow liquid glue because it's going to give me wiggle room. There we go. Okay. There we go. And now on this side, we are going to put this piece of designer series paper. Got a little bit of adhesive there that splayed out. I'm going to use my regular adhesive. I love this paper. I'm going to be sad to see this paper go, but I'm sure that it will be replaced in May with some beautiful new designer series paper. Okay, so there's the card, but we're not done yet because it's, I say all the time, it's those details, right? So now we have these two frames. Oops, not the white one. That's a sample. We've got these two frames. And I want to just finish off that card. You can actually leave it as it is like that, but I think it needs to be finished off. So this is the trick. It is Tombow glue. It is dot, dot, dot. It is not push, push. just a dot of adhesive all along the outside edge, and we're going to put that on here, and just going to frame that. I sometimes see doing videos is really helpful because it just shows people, especially if they're not card crafters, card creators, the level of detail that goes into a card. So there it is on the outside. It just finished it off, and now I want to finish off the inside of the card as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. Sometimes I can't talk. I don't get my thoughts out. My brain and my mouth don't match up sometimes. And we're just going to put that on the inside, and it's just finishing off that window to give it a finished look, I think. But we're not done yet. I keep saying that. We're not done yet. Okay. So there we go. And now we have, you've got style, and I want to kind of put it like that. It's going to get popped up, but the key here is not to put dimensionals underneath it so that it's going to show here and adhere to the front of the card, right? So you have to be strategic in how you put your dimensionals. So I'm going to put dimensionals on this side and then a strip on the bottom underneath where the style is. And that way it's not going to interfere with the card, the inside of the card. And, oh, I have to look at this. I've got a piece right here. You've got style. And I'm going to put it underneath here. And it's going to catch the outside of the card. So that's kind of how I have the dimensionals. That's perfect. Before I really pushed it down, I wanted to make sure that it was right. Okay, there we go. And now we've got some of the flowers. And we're going to use, there's different sized flowers here. I think in the original one I used 3 of the larger ones, and I think I might do that again. 1, 2, and 3. You can use the fine tip glue, or you can use glue dots. I think in this case I'm going to use glue dots. No, I did bring them out. But use many. Don't just use one glue dot. Use a few. I used a couple just to make sure. And then one more. And then we're not done yet, because you know I'm going to bring out my fine tip glue. Okay. And now my fine tip glue. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the hubcaps with the fine tip glue and also the windows. Now, if you wanted to, you could use the wink of Stella on the windows, but I want to use the fine tip glue just to give me the look of glass. And I'm scribbling it on. I'm not doing like that it's totally pooled. Oops. Some air bubbles in that one, and then the same with the hubcaps. I'm going to color in the hubcaps. And that, my friends, is the card. So there's the card. You can see the windows, how I've colored them in with a little bit of petal pink and then the fine tip glue, and the same with the hubcaps. And it just gives it a little bit of shimmer. And you've got style, some some of the flowers there. And then when you open it up, you've got the flower power on the inside, driving by to say hi. I think it's a cutie. It's a cutie patootie. I hope you guys are just getting the shards off of there. I hope you guys like it. I think it's a cute card. I think it's cute. What do you think? I think it's adorable. Thanks for stopping by. Again, this is Driving By, which is a level 1 Sale-a-Bration item. Sale-a-Bration ends on February 28th. So if this is an item that you want to have, please contact me, and I'd be happy to help you out. Take care, have a good one, and happy stamping.